Something is really off. Okay, Okay, it's saying stream health is now green, so I'm wondering if it's working now. Yeah, okay, let me go back to my normal thing here. You know, this computer, I gotta tell you guys. Hello, everybody. How's it going? We do have Job. I told you guys this was going to be a shiitake mushroom episode. I told you guys that. Yeah, no, my sons aren't playing Fortnite. They're not here. I went and shut down a computer in the other room. I went to go check their bedroom because sometimes they will leave both of their Xboxes running. They'll leave a computer on. They'll get all kinds of problems here where it could cause problems, right? And so anyway, I don't know what's going on, guys. The one thing I will say in regards to all of these PC problems that I've been having is that ever since I started messing with all this stuff, my PC has become very sluggish, like just going to websites and stuff, like just trying to load things really slow, really sluggish. I don't know if I screwed something up in my BIOS or something anyways, but can you guys hear me? Let's see. You know, it's weird. I cannot hear this game trailer at all. I hear... Yeah, I can't hear this game trailer at all. You know what? Okay, I'm going to restart this again. Sorry, folks. I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to exit out of... Welcome, everybody. This is episode 257. I don't even know. Is it 231? Is it 230? Something is going on here. I'm having a lot of problems, folks. Hopefully, I'm back in the mix now. Okay, so what I did was I had to exit out of OBS and restart OBS. Now I can hear my audio at least. I don't know if like the internet is messed up or whatever, but anyway, what I'm going to try to do is I'm just going to try to pretend that everything is fine and everything is normal, and if everything gets screwed up again, I'll just end it and we'll start over tomorrow. Yeah, so I was talking about my mom being addicted to gambling. So yeah, so I went to go visit my mom, right? And she's really into gambling. That is her thing. And so at one point she was like, can we please go to blah, blah, blah casino, which happens to be like an Indian casino that is not too far from Sacramento. And normally I would not want to do that because, you know, she's addicted to it and she spends too much money and all of this stuff. So I convinced her. I said, okay, look, Mom, I will take you to the casino, but you got to promise me that your limit is a couple $100, you know, and that's it. And once you lose that money, we're done. We're out of there. It's all over with. We're going to go back home. Okay. And so she was like, okay, I agree. I promise. I agree. And I was like, you promise? Are you sure? You're sure? Okay. You're going to bring these a couple $100. Once you blow through the couple $100, it's all over with. And yeah, it was actually $300. It was actually $300. $300 was her limit, right? And so we go to the casino. Everything is fine. She's happy. Everything's going good. She blows through her 300. And I'm like, okay, that's it. That's your 300. She grabs another $100 bill out of her purse and stuffs it into the slot machine. And now Job is right here. Job is right by the door as the shit show continues. But she grabbed another $100 bill. She stuffs it into the slot machine. Yeah, it was a new motherboard. And before I could get her to stop it, and then I was like, no, you promised, blah, blah, blah. And so we got into this big major argument. It was a big deal. But anyway, finally, we left out of there. It was all done. And the bottom line of this story is I'm never taking her to a casino again because she cannot, like, she makes a promise and then she breaks her promise. She's just too damn addicted to that crap. What is it with older people and gambling? What is it? Because I was talking to my mom. I was talking to my mom about the lottery. You know how there's like this Mega Millions lottery and it was like $700 million or whatever, right? And so I'm talking to my mom about the lottery and I was like, Mom, I was like, what would you do if you won the lottery? Like, let's say you won like $300 million. What would you do with your money? Because it seems like her goal in life is to win a huge pile of money. Like, that's her dream, right? And so I was saying, look, if you won all this money, what would you do? And she was like, oh, well, I would go to the casino. And I was like, what are you talking about? You've won all the money. You've achieved what you needed to do. Now you're going to go back to the casino? What for? You hit the jackpot. You got 300 million. And so, like, in her head, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the bright lights, if it's the sounds, the noises, the smoke, because there's all this smoke in there. People can smoke like crazy up in there. But that's what she wants. And so it's like, I almost just want to like buy her a slot machine that she can have in her little house, her little apartment there, fill it up with a ton of quarters and stuff, and she could just play that slot machine over and over and over. I don't know what it is. It's like something in her head, you know, adrenaline. That's what VRM is saying. It's adrenaline. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that was my story from yesterday. You know, this trailer is really hitchy. I wonder if the stream is still kind of messed up. I don't know what's going on, but here's what I will tell you guys. Okay. So remember yesterday on my show, I was talking about the whole 1080 Ti thing, and I was saying that I could not get it to work in the right slot, and then if I put it in this other slot, it would work. Well, guess what? I went into the system information for the NVIDIA card, and I found out that when the 1080 Ti was in the wrong slot, it was operating at 1x, not 4x, not 8x, and definitely not 16x, 1x. And no wonder when I was playing in depth that other night, it was like shitty performance. It was all jittery and shit. It was all messed up. And so I was, you know, getting frustrated. I'm like, oh my God, this is 1x. This really sucks, right? And so what happened is I did a post on Terry Blanchard, what is going on? What is up, Cedric Harris? What is up, everybody that is checking in? Some people are checking in late. Hussein X, checking in late, right? Okay, so I did a post on the Sacramento subreddit asking if there were any PC gaming gamers, you know, a PC gamer that might be able to help me out locally, where I could drive over to their house, I could take my tower, somebody out of the goodness of their heart might be able to look at my tower for a few minutes and maybe figure out something very simple that was wrong and maybe help me out, right? Yeah, this is the Lawnmower Man live show. He's right out the door. It is loud as hell, and it's very hard for me to concentrate. Also, when the stream is going to shit and my videos are buffering and all this stuff. But anyway, and my dog is barking. Now my dog is barking in the other room. So, shit show extraordinaire. My hope is by maybe November 1st, everything will be worked out. I'll be back to normal. Everything will be good. It'll be awesome. Don't worry about it, folks. But I did a post on the Sacramento subreddit about this, and somebody came in and they found something on a Nantech that I think solved all of my problems. So I'm going to go to the web browser with small video window. Here it is. This is somebody's post that was back on, this was May 2nd of 2017. This guy says, so I just purchased an EVGA GTX 1080 FE Founders Edition the other day. I put it in my Asus P8, P67, turned my computer on, the Asus logo appears, blah, 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 blah. Bottom line, he couldn't get it to work, right? And so one of the guys told him, let me see if I can find, like people were asking about, is it this power supply? You know, that's what a lot of people would say, the power supply. Okay, here's what this one guy suggested right here, Ketchup, an elite member on May 3rd of 2017. He said, you could try a BIOS reset with the 1080 Ti in the proper slot. And that's what I did, guys, and it freaking works. It freaking works. So my 1080 Ti is now in the correct slot. It is 16x. It is in the correct slot. I popped out the little CMOS, you know, the little battery, the little circular battery. So I reset the BIOS with the 1080 in the right slot, and it works and it's showing up. Like if I go into my desktop, like if I right click on my desktop and I hit, like NVIDIA control panel, and I go into system information, it shows that it's in a 16x slot. And so somehow it's working. And I went in and I played in depth a little bit last night. All of this got solved. It was like damn near midnight by the time all of this got solved. And I went in, yeah, okay, so my NVIDIA control panel finally just opened up right now. I don't know why it's so damn slow. But if you go to help, you go over here to system information, and it's still going hella slow. But when I look at the bus, where is it? Bus, it says PCI Express X16 Gen 2. Now it is Gen 2. This is Gen 2 because it's an old ass motherboard. Can you say difficult words? I can say a lot of things, but here's the thing, bro. There's a million things that are going on simultaneously. I got Job in the backyard. The lawnmower is loud. I got my dog barking. This stream is effed up. Everything is messed up. And then push a button is saying, so you had a good sleep after that. No, I didn't even freaking sleep last night. Sleep was terrible. I had all these you ever go to sleep and you have all these thoughts that are running through your mind? Like it goes on these cycles, like motherboard this, motherboard that, blah, 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 blah. And it's just going around in a cycle. That was happening to me last night. I was trying to sleep, couldn't sleep, didn't sleep a wink. I don't know if my eyes are all like bloodshot and shit from all of this, but man, it has been some shit, guys. And everything is going like really slow on my computer. Like I'm trying to switch up to a different trailer now. Everything is going really slow. Main fan says your motherboard might have a Gen 3 option in BIOS. And I don't know. I mean, the motherboard is from spring 2011. And then John Shrubik says, that's why your PC will launch additional apps slower. Yeah, I don't know. Everything is going kind of crazy, but I'm hoping that eventually, everything will be right. Eventually, everything will be good. I don't know. It's been kind of crazy. I just want to go back to normalcy, man. In some ways, I kind of wish that Chris never reached out to me and told me that his buddy was selling a 1080 Ti for $400 or well, whatever. I mean, we worked out a deal for 415. I almost wish that never ever happened. And I just stuck on my crappy 970. Everything was normal. Everything was the same. And now it's kind of, do a fresh install of Windows. That's Gerard O'Hara. Okay, so the screen just froze. Yeah, I'm still having issues here, guys. I'm still having problems. I want to do a fresh install of Windows, but the problem with doing that is I got to have everything. I got to have all my critical shit backed up somewhere else, and I don't have it all backed up somewhere else, and it takes time to like do that and make sure that you got it saved to like another hard drive or another PC or something like that. So it's just been a fucking nightmare. There's no two ways about it. But let's go ahead and get back into our regular show. And you know what? Let's see here. I might as well throw on the trailer for this show. Yeah, this is a show, right? God, I don't know. Like eventually we will return to normalcy, folks. We really will. Okay, so this is a trailer. Yeah, it's called VR Game Rankings. That is the name of this show. And if you are brand new and you've just tuned in, you probably just want to run for the fences. Okay, yeah, this is episode 232. It is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, October 17th. It is Wednesday, October 17th. And Terry Blanchard says, Anth is trying to fit a Ferrari engine into a Datsun. Pretty much. Phil Yarn says, that old buyer's remorse. Kev Gret, this is karma for not letting your mom gamble. No, dude, I let her gamble, and I agreed to this $300 limit, and she blew $300, and then she blew like another $60. Dude, that $360 could have bought me a brand new Intel CPU, but she's a gambler. That's what she wants to do, and that's her money, and it's her world, and what can I do about that? Okay, so Charles Van Nolan says, let's rank some VR games. Well, actually, you know what? I do want to get to a very specific topic. Let's talk about the 2018 VR Awards. Although I never heard of this shit. Like whoever heard of this 2018 VR Awards? Did anybody know that this was going to go on, that this was happening? Like, who is sanctioning this? Who created this? Like, what is the deal here? I'm going to put on a different trailer. We've been running the same trailer for a minute here. And I want to go to, okay, so this is, yeah, have you RTX? Okay, we got a new guy in chat, Kroll Saigon 1 or I or whatever it is. You're new? No, I don't have RTX. This is the shit show. If you don't know, this is where everything goes to die. This is a VR gaming show that is having major problems. Used to be pretty good. If you came a couple weeks ago, there was a lot of good shows. They were happening every day. Good information. Maybe a lot of funny chit chat and stuff. I kind of would go off the cuff. Things would be funny and hilarious and kind of silly. And now it's kind of bad and shitty. But the hopes is that eventually things will be right. Okay, so I want to talk about these 2018 VR awards though. So I'm going to switch over here to my small video window right here. Okay, here it is. The Gallery and Vive Pro take home the top awards at the 2018 VR awards. So let's scroll down here. And so here's the VR Game of the Year nominees. First of all, hold on a second. Okay, let me read off the Game of the Year nominees. So you got The Gallery Episode 2, Heart of the Emberstone. You got Fallout 4 VR. See how my mouse is like this? Do you see that little round circular thing? That should not be happening. Okay, we got The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. We got Beat Saber, Sprint Vector, Lone Echo, Echo Arena, Brass Tactics, Red Matter, baby. I'm happy for Vertical Robot getting some love. I love this. Red Matter in the building. I can't even scroll my this window down. It's like, my PC is freaking borked. Okay, let me go back over here. But what I want to ask you guys is, what freaking year are they talking about? They're talking about, okay, these awards are the 2018 VR awards. Wait a minute, we're in 2018 right now. 2018 isn't over. This is October 17th. What year are these people talking about? Am I having a memory problem? It's the same 8 gigs of memory I've always had. So, like, why was I not having a problem like a month ago? Why am I having a problem now? I don't know. It might be some bias type of thing. Something might be screwed up. I'm not going to worry about it right now. But yeah, this website is going hella slow right here. But I was trying to talk about these awards. Okay, now the website's working again. I can actually move it up and down. So check if something is using up your RAM. Well, here's what I need, Matthew Lake. Can one of you guys do me a favor? I need the biggest PC expert in the world. Go to your nearest airport. Find Sacramento on your airport. Buy yourself a round trip ticket. Fly in, I will pick you up at the airport and I will deliver you to my house, and you could do whatever you want to do with my PC and figure it all out, and it'll be wonderful. But up until then, I'm not going to really worry about it. Now, Gerardo Harris says, sorry, dude, but you need to do a fresh install. I understand that, but when am I going to have the time when I'm doing a million other things? So there are some issues here, guys. All I know is 2 weeks ago, everything was working great. 2 weeks ago, none of this shit was happening. 2 weeks ago, I was playing VR games. I was playing stuff. And I don't know what the hell is going on right now. But anyway, that's what's going on. So what I wanted to tell you guys, though, is let's get back to this VR Game of the Year thing, because I don't freaking understand this. When the hell did Fallout 4 VR come out? When did Heart of the Emberstone come out? Lone Echo? What year did Lone Echo? Like, what are they talking about? Is this Game of the Year for 2017? Is this Game of the Year for 2018? I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about here. So what is this awards? And then VR Headset of the Year? Okay, so let's go ahead and go back over to this window. VR Headset of the Year. So these were the nominees. The Vive Pro, the Oculus Go, VR Engineers, VR Hero 5K Plus, and the HTC Vive Focus. Okay, so these are the nominees? Like, where's the Oculus Rift? Where is regular HTC Vive? Where is PlayStation VR? I don't understand this award show. To me, it sounds like this award show, I don't know who like sponsored this award show or who decided to come up with this award show, but to me, it sounds self-serving. It sounds like they created all of these little categories to like serve whatever. I don't know what their hidden agenda is here. And then VR Experience of the Year, Manifest 99? Really? Really? Manifest 99. Blade Runner 2049 Memory Lab was one of the nominees, and it fucking kills Manifest 99. It throws Manifest 99 up in the air and it takes a bat and it freaking knocks it out of the goddamn park. Coco VR kills Manifest 99. I hated Manifest 99. Like, I didn't even enjoy it. Like, it was mildly entertaining on a good day. How the hell did that win VR Experience of the Year? I'm sorry, that is completely bunk. You know, a better VR experience that I think it came out in 2018 is Dispatch. Dispatch on Oculus Rift is freaking spectacular. That should be VR Experience of the Year. So, you know, these are just like, can somebody explain to me what is going on here? Because the Gallery Episode 2, yeah, that's a great game. Heart of the Emberstone is a great game. Fallout 4 is a great game. Skyrim is a great game. Beat Saber is a great game. But how many of these games came out in the year 2018? Like what? The Mage's Tale? So is this like not VR Game of the Year? It's like VR, it's like game of since VR started up again in 2016? Like, we might as well nominate The Lab. Why didn't The Lab win VR Game of the Year? I mean, they're going back they're going back to all these games that came out a long time ago. Now, one of the good news is, one of the good things about here is Red Matter was nominated, and Pixel Ripped 1989 was nominated, and it says currently unreleased. Like, I don't know what this is. This is one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. I just don't get it. They got VR Film of the Year nominees. I'm going to switch back over here. VR Film of the Year nominees. They got Asteroids, The Committee, Trending Gold, My Africa, Speed Kills VR. I've never even heard of a lot of these things. And then Coco, yeah, VR Marketing of the Year nominee. Coco did win that. Magnopus won that. ILM X Lab Star Wars Droid Repair Bay, which maybe that's something I can actually experience now that I have a 1080 Ti. It never really worked quite right before. Blade Runner 2049, nominated again, got screwed again. Rising VR Company of the Year, Neuro Gaming Limited, Flight School. Okay, so Flight School has now been nominated. You know, they did Manifest 99. Now they're being nominated again. VR Engineers are being nominated again. Fast Travel Games, the developer of what's their game? Forget what their game is. Apex Construct, I believe. Like, decent game, but this is self-serving. I'm sorry, I don't know who came up with this or who decided on this, but it sounded like about a handful of gaming companies got together and said, hey, let's create our own awards where we're going to give it to all of our best buddies, is kind of what I'm getting out of here. This does not make logical sense. I just didn't know if anybody else out there believes that this makes any kind of logical sense. I don't get it. Okay, Paradise Decay says, Anthony, scroll up to see what game won. Paradise Decay says, Coco did win one award. Yes, it did. And Terry Blanchard said they probably paid to be nominees. They must have been. It doesn't make sense. Okay, here's Haxalot. He says Oculus Rift Standard and PlayStation VR did not come out in 2018. But no, Haxalot, we can't go by that kind of idea, because look at all this shit that hasn't come out in 2018. Now this website froze again. I can't go up or down again. Something is so screwed up with my computer. It's ridiculous. But look at all the games. Skyrim didn't come out in Fallout 4, I know, did not come out in 2018. Heart of the Emberstone didn't come out in 2018. So what? I don't get it. Like, this is the bullshit awards of all time. It really is. So anyway, that's my take on that. Paradise Decay says he was shocked watching the live show, he must admit. And weird that there's no Virtual Boy Award. And then Charles Van Nolan says VR Game Ranking Awards. Dude, I could have freaking just did a live stream with no preparation whatsoever, gone to VR Game Rankings and looked at my last 90-day charts and come up with a better 2018 VR awards than what these people did. This is an absolute joke, in my opinion. This website is locked up, can't go up or down. Can't even minimize it. God, I don't know. My computer just got freaking janked. Really, what I need to do, guys, what I need to do is I need to go out to the park down the street, look around in random bushes and find a basket of $2,000 so I can buy a brand spanking new PC, build it from the ground up, fresh install of Windows, all of that shit. But that hasn't happened. Where is Beat Saber in the award? Beat Saber was nominated. It was nominated, but it got screwed. Instead, they wanted to give it to games that came out way the hell long ago. So I don't get it. Kind of a weird thing here. And now everything is kind of all jacked up here. Okay, so let's see. What else can we get into before this shit show comes to a final conclusion? And so let's see. I was trying to look at some of these other news stories, but everything's jacked up for me. Okay, well, why don't we check the Vive subreddit if I can click on anything? Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm over here on the Vive subreddit. Let's see what people are talking about over here. I'll click over on this. Okay, looks like the 2018 VR Awards is supported by VR Bound. Who the hell is that? Never heard of them. So anyway, guys, I'm over here on the Vive subreddit and seeing if there's any kind of any stories over here to talk about. They're asking about Halloween party VR experiences. We do know about Drunken Bar Fight does have a little Halloween mode that is out there. There's other things that have some little Halloween stuff going on as well. Some people are talking about, I have seen this from more than one person, that the HTC Vive wireless adapter is messing with their performance. And so we've had a number of people talk about that. Anyone bought a PSVR even after owning a Vive? And yes, there are a lot of people that are coming into that and doing that. And the reason why is there's just too much good PSVR stuff to completely ignore it. There's people out there that are going to ignore it, but they're going to ignore it at their own, their own situation there, because they're kind of missing out. There's a lot of good stuff. And then this guy's saying, what is the best CPU for VR? Which I'm going to need to go down this road at some point in time. And they're talking about, this guy's talking about the i9 9900K or the Ryzen 7 2700X. Needs to be overclockable. His budget is $555. Is that just for the CPU? God damn. That guy is really enjoying himself if he's going to drop 500 bones just on the CPU. So a number of people are in here talking about the different CPUs they should use. I used to go to Tom's Hardware Guide and look at all of their stuff and their breakdowns, but apparently they were bought by somebody else and now they can't be trusted. Like, everything is all messed up with Tom's Hardware Guide. Okay, going over to the Oculus subreddit, Quake 1 played outside without artificial locomotion. 6 degrees of freedom world scale. That sounds kind of cool. See, Next VR is preparing to stream the 2018-2019 season. Does anybody care about this? Because everything that I've ever seen, like all the videos that I've ever seen, the Next VR stuff, I've seen some samples of NBA, and it's so pixelated. Like, I don't even know why we're trying right now with the 360 video, the 180 video. It just looks like ass. Now, if they could get it looking as good as some of the Amaze 3D stuff that is on the Oculus Go, that would be one thing. But to me, it doesn't look that good. And you're trying to stream a live event. It just doesn't work out very well. I'm not a fan of that. Wardust Alpha gameplay, people talking about that as well. Rec Room highlights, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and check over at PSVR. Like I said, guys, I was not prepared for today's show. And it's showing. It's showing because this is turned into Shiitake Mushroom 2019. Okay, Astrobot is the 5th best ranked PlayStation 4 video game of 2018. We've already heard about that. And let's see, Drive Club for $4 is an absolute bargain. I thought it was like $6, but maybe I guess if you have PlayStation Plus or something. Arizona Sunshine is on a 70% discount in the European store for PlayStation VR. Although I don't know that Arizona Sunshine on PSVR is all that great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back over to chat real quick. Let's see what people are talking about here. Terry Blanchard says, if you really must have 8 gigs of RAM, Anth, swap it for double speed 2800 megahertz RAM. Here's the thing, Terry. This motherboard is from the year of our Lord, 2011. Will 2800 megahertz RAM run in there? Like will it be supported? I mean, the motherboard has limits, right? Matthew Lake says it could be a memory leak. Might want to try and disable NDU. Push the Button says, why don't you take your mom to a virtual casino? Is there one in VR? You will save her the money. And then Charles Van Nolan says, I'm watching the Quake 1 thing right now. It's kind of neat. Terry Blanchard says, a Ryzen 2700X, 8 times core, 16 threads, best overall for VR. And Paradise says, I don't do any sports in real life anymore. Not bothered about VR sports either. No, you know what? I do believe there is going to be a point when watching live events in VR is going to be a freaking game changer like none other. That is actually going to happen. It really is going to happen. However, we're about 5 years away from that. It is not now. And I honestly believe like next VR, like streaming these NBA games, it's a bad look, man. I've seen some of the samples of this and it doesn't look good at all. It looks shitty to me. And all it does is, like, if I were to have somebody over my house and I would say, dude, you want to check out an NBA game in VR? And I put it on their head, they would probably never, ever want to get VR ever again because they would think, oh my God, this is what VR is all about? This looks like ass. I don't want to do this. That's my opinion on that. I haven't seen good VR. Everybody in chat is basically debating about whether or not I should buy an SSD, whether or not I should get new memory, blah, 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 blah. What do I need to do? Honestly, you know what I think I do need to do? Honestly, if we want to go back to the PC topic, I think what I do need to do is I need to reload Windows. I do think that is a good idea. In fact, I think that's a really good idea. And honestly, what I also need to do is I need to get an SSD. I really do. I really do need to get an SSD. So I think if I get an SSD and I put Windows on the SSD, and so like even if I got a relatively small, cheapo SSD, relatively cheap, put Windows on that SSD, then I think it will fix a lot of things. I think it'll fix a lot of my problems. Paradise Decay says, Anthony, start with a Win 10 reinstall. One of the problems I have, though, regarding the whole SSD thing and Windows and all of that, is back when I built this PC way back in spring of 2011. What I did to get Windows, I had a buddy that was going to UC Davis, and like Davis students are able to get Windows, or like if you're a college student, you're able to get like a kind of a deal on Windows. And so he got Windows for me, and it was like Windows 8. You know, this is back in Windows 8, and then you got like a free upgrade to Windows 10, and like as long as you already had Windows 8 already, you get a free update to Windows 10 and all this kinds of stuff, right? What I don't know, here's what I don't know. What I don't know is if I go get an SSD, how do I get Windows onto it do I have to go back to like Windows 8 from what I got from that guy when he was going, you know, the Windows version that I got? Do I have to go back to Windows 8 and then try to go back through the whole upgrade process? So it's kind of a freaking headache. It's like, I don't really want to deal with it in a way, you know. But what I could do, one of the things I could do is I could get all my mission critical shit off of this hard drive, get all my mission critical stuff off of here, and copy it over to like an external hard drive, and then just reload Windows on my current hard drive as it is. Crunchy says, do you still have the Windows key? I believe I do, but I would have to really look for that shit. But I do believe I still have the Windows key. But it's for Windows 8. It's not for Windows 10. Like, I was on Windows 8 and then did like a free Windows update and all that. And Charles Van Nolan says, well, just use that when you install Win 10. Contact support, deactivate, reactivate on new drive. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You know, honestly, I'm just kind of sick of all this shit. Okay, this is another example. This is why we have video game consoles, guys. Remember, that was the title of the show yesterday. It stands true today. Why is this shit so hard? Why is it so hard? Why can't I just play a game? Can I just play a game? Would you like to play a game? Yes, I'd like to play a game. Can I just play a game? You know, see, my PlayStation VR is sitting over there. I can just turn the damn thing on and I can play. I can play a game. It's a beautiful thing. And I remember the glory days. I remember the glory days of having a Super Nintendo or a Sega Genesis, and it just had a cartridge. You just pop the damn cartridge in, you turn the power button on, and it just freaking played. It was a beautiful thing. Those were the glory days. Okay, Haxalot says you can log in with your Microsoft ID and it automatically recognizes that you have Windows 10 and just re-download it. Charles Van Nolan says no free Win 10 stopped a few months ago. And then Push the Button says there is PC that are ready to play. Yeah, it starts off being ready to play, but if you have any kind of a problem, things can go to hell in a handbasket. Shirzad Khan City says, actually, it's never been easier to build a PC. That's true. It is true. It's easy. It's pretty easy to assemble a PC. And I even recommend people, sometimes people will come into chat and they'll talk about, should I just buy a pre-built PC or should I build it myself? And I always tell people, build it yourself, because then you can get good, high quality parts. Okay, you get good high quality components. If you go to one of these all-in-one PCs that are already pre-built, they use a lot of shitty ass components. They use a shitty ass motherboard. They use crappy RAM, crappy this, crappy that. So if you buy everything yourself, it's a hell of a lot better. And you can assemble all of it like plugging in Legos or something. It's pretty easy. The only hard part, the only thing that I'm really scared about in terms of completely rebuilding my PC, the only thing that I'm scared about is the thermal paste. Doing the thermal paste on the CPU and, you know, the aftermarket CPU fan and all of that, the thermal paste part. But other than that, everything is easy as hell. Like I did the power supply, I connected everything. That worked out fine. Everything is pretty much plug and play. But the thermal paste scares the living daylights out of me. I don't know why. But I followed some guides that were on NeoGAF. NeoGAF has some great guides on how to do it. But I don't know, when it comes to the part of doing the thermal paste, I get nervous about that. And so some people in chat are telling me, check out my email. They sent me some emails, blah, blah, blah. Jason H says, just use a dime size of thermal paste. Some people say, you know, make an X out of the thermal paste on the CPU and that type of stuff. But I built a lot of, Gary Haylock says, I was building computers in the 90s, but I just bought a CyberPower PC with all MSI components. Yeah, in the late 90s, I was constantly rebuilding my computer, constantly putting in new graphics cards, constantly changing the CPU, constantly updating the memory. I was one of these hardcore fanatic guys, like some of you guys out there that are always like tinkering with this, tinkering with that. I was really into it back then. And then the freaking Dreamcast came out. The Sega Dreamcast came out on like September 9th of 1999. And I was like, oh man, Sega did a damn good job with the Sega Dreamcast. Unfortunately, it was very short-lived and it died really quickly. Crunchy says he uses a rice grain-sized amount. Wow, that is a tiny amount of thermal paste, but it does the job. Terry Blanchard says just a couple of drops of thermal paste between CPU and fan, and that is it. Yeah, but that is the one part, pea-sized blob right in the middle, squash it down with the CPU. Yeah, that's the one part that always does make me nervous. But I think what I am going to do, guys, is I'm going to try to get all of my mission critical stuff that is on my hard drive, anything that is really mission critical, copy it over to my external drive, make sure it's all there, make sure I have all my pictures and things that are critical, and then try to just redo the whole hard drive. And then hopefully shit will work out. I do want to add an SSD though, but the whole idea of like getting Windows onto the SSD and all of that, I don't know. I mean, I know I can figure out how to do that, but it's just more problems. I wanted to return to normalcy. I have this game called Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams. In fact, let me go ahead and grab the trailer for that. Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams. Frozen, what is it? Frozen something Studios. They hooked me up. They gave me a code for this. I asked for the code like right before I had all these problems. They're probably wondering why I haven't reviewed this, why I haven't talked about this on the show. But here it is, Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams. I have an Oculus code for this. It's just waiting for me. Simplex PL says you can even clone current window install to SSD. And then Paradise Decay says, don't forget to back up your Uplay. Well, as long as you have a Uplay account, like your account information, as long as you have that written down, you're pretty good, right? John Schubrick says, how does it perform with the 970 put back in? I have not tried that. Now that I have my 1080 Ti actually operational, it's just this other stuff that is going on with like, I don't know why like moving through like Windows on my computer slowing down. Like, I don't know. This could be much ado about nothing too. Maybe I just need to restart my computer. Everything will be fine. Maybe we're making a big deal out of nothing. Terry Blanchard says, getting Windows onto SSD is easier than you think. Jason H says, don't clone to an SSD. Memory addresses will be bad. And then Simplex PL says, I cloned to SSD multiple times without problems. So you always get conflicting stories here. And Jason H says, always a fresh install, which I normally do buy into that. I do like the fresh install idea. Like, I like the idea of erasing all your video drivers for your GPU, completely erasing all that shit and do a fresh install on your drivers. Logan68 says, update all your drivers. Charles Van Nolan says, I bet your machine could be fixed up just fine without reinstalling or buying anything. Yeah, honestly, you know what's probably a big problem with my machine right now is the BIOS. Because here's the thing, guys. I've popped out that little CMOS battery like 3 different freaking times. And so the BIOS has been like reset like 3 different times. And I might have something just screwed up in my BIOS, like some kind of little thing that I have selected that shouldn't be selected. Yeah, I did. I lost all my overclocking settings. So my i5 2500K is not being overclocked right now. And I got to admit, though, I'm kind of at the point now where I just don't want to fuck with anything. I really don't. I just don't want to fuck with anything. There's a part of me that wants to just take this computer and just throw it into a goddamn swimming pool and just say, you know what, guys, I'm not a PC VR gamer anymore. I'm a fucking PlayStation VR gamer and an Oculus Go. Here's the new show. Here's the name of the new show. PSVR and Oculus Go every day. That's the new show. Will Flourish says, are there any BIOS updates for your motherboard? Well, that's what got me into the problem in the first place, trying to update my BIOS and all of that. I did that. Crunchy says, throw it to me in Elk Grove. Well, Crunchy, you know what? Honestly, I'm willing to drive over to your house and have you take a look at my BIOS and all of that and have you take a look at the PC. I have no problem with that. So Crunchy, if you want to send, shoot me an email, info@vrgamerankings.com. I'll drive over to Elk Grove and see what I can do. And let's see here. What else are we talking about? Paradise Decay says, before you throw your PC into the pool, send me the 1080. Absolutely. Yeah, Charles Van Nolan says, PC VR and Oculus Go every day. No, PlayStation VR and Oculus Go every day. Are there any conflicts flagged on the device manager list? Not sure. Terry Blanchard says, when you have a fresh install, you can still access all your pre-installed games on older drive attached by simply creating shortcuts to them on desktop. And Jason H says, rollback NVIDIA driver update. Yeah, I mean, there literally can be like 300 different things that could be going wrong here. There could be 300 different things. And Cedric Harris 12 says, listen, bro, reset the PC to default. I had the same thing going on when I put my 2080 in. What do you mean by reset it to default? Like Windows, like redo Windows? Because this PC, it doesn't have like a restore disk from like Fry's Electronics that'll put it all back to normal. This PC, I built it part by part. I built it with my human hands. No, I bought this tower. You know, I got the motherboard, I got the CPU, I got all the individual parts, and I put it all together. This was in spring 2011. Worked really good. Then when I got my Vive, threw a 970 in there, worked pretty good there. Okay, Crunchy says Windows 10 has a refresh mode. The thing about these refreshes, though, I kind of like it when you wipe that fucker clean. You know, you just wipe it clean. You're starting over from scratch. There's this feeling of having Windows brand new. You know, nothing is on there. OBS wouldn't be on there. Discord wouldn't be on there. Nothing would be on there. It's just a brand new, fresh install. That's something I kind of would like to do. The thing is, when I do these kinds of installs like that, I've done this before. I've done these fresh installs a number of times. But usually what I do is I'll take like a week or two to like slowly but surely back up all my mission critical shit to other hard drives, put them on other computers, make sure that everything is like working okay. Like, okay, I got all my other pictures. I got this. I got my OBS stuff on another computer. It's all there. So if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, I got it on another computer, I'm good. And I usually take like a couple of weeks to do that. Now, John Shrubik is saying it takes half a day. It takes half a day if you're freaking banging away on it and that is your mission and everything else goes off into the distance. You don't worry about anything else. That is your focus. Go to settings, clear to PC, nothing on it. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, that's probably what I need to do. I do have an external hard drive, 1 terabyte. I could copy a bunch of shit over there. That's what I need to do. Gerard O'Hara says backup and Windows rest. Backup, Windows reset. It will take a few hours. It's going to take more than a few hours. It will take more than a few hours. In fact, it'll probably take me a few days. What size HDD are you currently using? Let me look. I don't even know. I thought it was like maybe 1 terabyte. Let me see here. This PC, local disk. Yeah, it's a 1 terabyte. And there's only 56.8 gigs free of my 930 gigs. It's red. And then my Hitachi, I have a 1 terabyte external Hitachi drive that has 222 gigs that are free. And that's what I have going on right now in terms of these drives. Yeah, this has turned into the PC repair show. Three-legged squirrel. Okay, wait a minute. We got a brand new dude that came out of nowhere. Three-legged squirrel is making his introduction into chat. So this is a guy that's probably watches on the sidelines, doesn't really get involved with this shit, but he had to check in and say, fresh wipe install from a USB stick to SSD. Takes 10 minutes and never ever save anything to your C drive. Okay. Simplix PL says, if your HDD is 7 years old, it may be mechanically worn out and it may die. Oh, that's a nice one. Christopher Davis said, I had the same problem when I upgraded my 970 to a 1080 Ti. It took me 3 days of troubleshooting and I don't understand when I finally started working. Push the Button says, takes more time to back up than install Windows. Yeah, installing Windows is not that big of a deal. It's really what it is you just want to make sure that there isn't anything mission critical that freaking gets deleted in the transfer there. Defrag your drives every month, good house cleaning, or test your RAM. Buy a new SSD or 2 terabyte SATA drive instead of using existing for fresh install. Wish we could donate PC parts to VR Game Rankings. I bet there are some of us that have extra parts that could make a sweet PC. Yeah, you know, so here's what I'm starting to think now. I'm starting to think, let me go get an SSD and let me get Windows onto the SSD. You can fresh install from within Windows 10. One of the nice features I have used many times for my parents, etc. Jason H. Patreon. Yeah, you know, all of that is coming. One of the reasons I'm not doing Patreon is because, yeah, Patreon Super Chat. You know what? I'll let you guys know. Here's the reason why I haven't done that. Okay, so I'm still getting some unemployment from my previous job. And the thing is, if I start a Patreon or Super Chat or anything, if somebody donates me money, like when you're doing your unemployment and you get unemployment, it asks you all these questions about if you receive money from anywhere, you know, you got to legally report it. And I do everything by the book. So if I did a Patreon or a Super Chat or anything like that right now, I would have to report that on my unemployment thing. And I'm getting more money from my unemployment right now than I would get from any kind of Patreon or anything like that. So I figure don't worry about, I'll worry about the Patreon thing later. You know, so I'm going to stay on my unemployment thing for now. I didn't really want to get into that, but that's the truth. That's why I haven't done Patreon or Super Chat or any of that shit, because then I'll actually have to start reporting that, and then it gets into a headache with the whole unemployment thing. I still don't have like a legit job, guys. I used to work for the state of California. I'm technically still employed with the state of California, but the job that I used to do has just fucking disappeared into the mist, and they don't have any more work. And so I'm kind of like, I'm basically in this like limbo, a job limbo basically with the state of California, but I am getting unemployment. And the unemployment isn't very much. It's hardly anything, but it does help out. It helps towards like the mortgage and stuff like that. I am super blessed. I am incredibly blessed that my wife has a really good job. Like, she has a really good job. She makes good money. If it wasn't for that, I'd be freaking at Burger King, man. I'd be a manager at Burger King right now. I'd be flipping burgers. Thank God my wife has a really good job and everything, so I don't have to stress out with this. Simplex PL says, have your wife do the Patreon. See, here's the thing. I don't believe in getting over. I don't believe in getting over. Like, I talked about this before. I do not believe in the concept of getting over. So I'm not going to try to like do any kind of, thing. What about gifts? You don't have to report gifts? No, I mean, it depends on how the gift is in terms of how you report it. So that kind of depends as far as that goes. But Jason H says he used to get laid off at an auto manufacturer a lot. Yeah. And then Simplex says he's just kidding. Yeah, okay, she's just kidding. What if she divorced you? Yeah, that almost happened at one point. Conrad Lawrence says, blessed, you and me both. She bought my Vive for me. Yeah, no, I am blessed. I am absolutely blessed. And some of us are in a similar boat, buddy. Why do you think I have time to do vids all day? Yeah, that's kind of the way it is right now. Like if the state of California called me up and said, okay, we've got a job, show up here, get back to work, I don't know. I might be doing this show like at nighttime a little bit, moonlighting a little bit, whatever. I'd still try to do it somehow. So anyway, guys, we've been going for over an hour now, even though I started really late. And let's see, Simplex PL. It's a bit weird you can't get any money while getting benefit. No, I could get money. I could do a Patreon and all of that. I could do that. But what would happen is when you're doing your unemployment, you would have to list all of that shit out. And so like if I somehow got like $500 from Patreon, I would have to list that out. And then so they would redo my unemployment based on what I'm getting. It's a headache. It's a real headache is what it is. I could do it, but it's a headache. So I just don't want to get involved with it. But don't worry, guys. Everything will work out. Everything will work out. I'm going to get this thing working right, and it'll be back to normal. I've got a 1080 Ti right now, And I'm gonna get this thing working. I didn't want to get into this discussion about fucking unemployment and shit. Definitely was not planning on getting involved with that today on this show. Did have no plans of talking about that, but that's what happened. So yeah, yeah, we're really getting to know Anthony. We're getting to know how freaking poor Anthony is in this situation. Public Amazon wish list. I do have this Amazon thing. Like, if you go to the YouTube channel, like I have my Amazon store, right? Do you know I've had Amazon, I have all this Amazon stuff all over vrgamerankings.com. I have never received a single penny from Amazon. Never received a single penny because you have to get $100. I have it set up where they don't send you a check until you have $100. And I haven't gotten up to $100. Yeah, Amazon affiliates. Crunchy says Amazon affiliates. Yeah, I have Amazon affiliate stuff all over the VR Game Rankings website, but I've never received a single penny from Amazon. I've actually never received a single penny from anything. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. VR Roundtable actually does get some money from Google AdSense from views on VR Roundtable videos. We do get money for that. But all the money that we get for that just goes towards buying games or giving out prizes or something like that. So I have never received a penny since I've started this whole VR thing. Never received a single penny. What I have received, though, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I've never gotten anything and oh, woe is me and I can't believe it. This sucks. I'm not trying to say that. I've gotten a ton of free games. I get a shitload of free games all the time. So I do get free games. That is pretty freaking cool. I do get free games. So I have gotten something. Matthew Lake says, that sucks, man. You should read what I told you before. I've had a few thousand from Amazon. Yeah, see, Matthew Lake, this guy's he's tried to help me out. He sent me a couple emails and told me what I got to do with the website. I got to do this. I got to do that. And he's talking about all these keywords and all this shit. And basically, I just want to try to write articles and stuff and like have reviews and have rankings and all this stuff. And I'm not into all the whole keyword thing. So it's like if I have to really go down that road, then F it. I don't even care. I don't even want the money. But yeah, no money has come to me from this. I don't know what's going on. It's all good. It's not a big deal. Everything. So here's the number one comment in chat is Terry Blanchard. Cheers, Anth. All will work out. Congrats. That's what I'm thinking, Terry. That's my belief. There's this one guy, his name is Michael Bernard Beckwith, and one of the things he says is the universe is conspiring for your good. And so anytime you think that shit is just going down the tubes and nothing is going wrong, Paradise Decay says, love is all you need, John Lennon. And that's really quite true. It is really quite true because I could hit the $700 million Mega Millions lottery, right? It doesn't change all that much. I mean, sure, I'll be in a Ferrari 458 Spider, and sure, I'll be in a freaking $10 million mansion, and sure, I'll be flying first class everywhere, and I'll go to Italy and London, and I'll be on these nice trips. But the bottom line is I'm still the same mofo. You know, I'm still the same mofo. I'll be in different clothes, you know, Gucci head to toe. Not even. I wouldn't even do that. But you're still the same mofo. You know, you still, like if you have a health problem, you still got the freaking health problem. You know what I mean? So in the end, money doesn't really do shit in the end. But yeah, no, I believe in this idea that the universe is conspiring for your good. So just have faith. Have faith that everything will work out. Everything will work out. Things will work out. And ultimately, everything will work out. So that's kind of my idea. So, you know, and then there's also the yin and yang. You guys know about the yin and the yang? Like, there's good and there's bad. And you can't just have good. There has to be some bad. And you can't just have bad. There has to be some good. There's the yin and the yang. I believe in the yin and the yang. I believe that the universe is conspiring for my good. And so everything will ultimately work out in the end. And, you know, everything will work out awesome. So anyway, guys, I got to bounce out. It's been a while. This has been one of the more interesting episodes, I'm sure, especially at the very end here when we got into some real life shit. But I hope to be back 11 a.m. tomorrow. Hopefully I can play some Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams. It's supposedly really relaxing and chill, and I need to relax. I need to chill because this has kind of been very chaotic. Kebgret says, we're here with you, Anthony. Tony M says, money isn't everything. Look at Steve Jobs and Paul Allen. Yeah, all the money in the world, but now they're 6 feet under. Yeah, that's true. And you know what? Here's what I do love. Look at all these people in chat with all these good words. Like, that is super cool. Like, this shit is really what it's all about. I've got some friends in chat, some nice people in chat with some really good words, and that is really cool. So, like, that is a nice thing, you know, and so as long as I have that, you know, that's all you really need. Like, all this other bullshit is just accoutrements. It's just accoutrements. That's all it is. Even Minecraft creator wish he never had all that money from Microsoft. It made him really sad. Yeah, money does not buy you happiness. It buys you everything else, but it doesn't buy you happiness. The one thing that money will bring you, though, the one thing money will bring you is the freedom from having to worry about money. And that is nice. That would be a freaking bonus. That would be really nice. But yeah, I got to bounce, guys. So let me go ahead and put on my outro trailer here. I'm going to bounce out of here, but I will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time. So yes, this has been the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. Be sure to check out the website every once in a blue moon. And of course, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like this crazy ass video. And, you know, things will continue to improve and get better and better. You know, the good news is, think about where I started, guys. Things have improved. Things have improved. Sometimes it goes to shit, but eventually it gets better. So it will all work out. So I got to bounce out of here. See you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later. Later.